Another fantasy baseball season in the books. After last season, I, Miles, not this disembodied voice, vowed that 2024 would be the year that 15 for 15 films ended, for good. This was met with uproar, anger, displeasure, violence, adjectives, and I was okay with this because, fuck 'em. So, why am I back? Before the start of the 2025 season, a contract was signed. This contract set into motion one of the most complicated manager acquisitions and dissolutions in recent memory. First, we saw Ryan Severance announce that his team would be dissolving, and he would be joining Camp Yes Sir. The move seemed like a match made in heaven. The camp now consisted of 4 members, all of which were perfectly capable of downloading and opening the app. But Camp Yes Sir wasn't done. In a move mostly incentivized by the recent league incentive to promote gender equality, the camp added Katie Donovan to the squad, cashing in on the firm handshake from the commissioner, me. That came with this move. The Madison Bingos also made a move along this vein, adding Savannah Dolan to the team. So how the fuck did we end up with the Hot Ballz? Only a week after these moves came into place, allegations started to fly. Workplace harassment over at Camp Yes Sir was reported after George refused to provide Katie with the login to the app. Later it was found that George did not have the login information himself, but this was unknown at the time. This led Katie to look elsewhere. She turned to Savannah and Henry Thomas to form a new team, leaving the Bingos and Camp Yes Sir to pick up the pieces left in their wake. And thus, the Hot Ballz were born. In order for this managerial changeover to take place, however, Camp Yes Sir and the Madison Bingos needed to sign over the rights to Savannah and Katie to absolve them of the 1-year contracts they had signed just a week prior. This was not an employment at will consideration. Luckily, Miles did not give a shit, and was happy to allow Savannah to walk, and signed off on her release. And George, looking to distance himself from the growing allegations of misconduct within the camp, signed Katie's managerial rights over to the newly formed Hot Ballz. So why are we here? Within this contract, Katie snuck in a clause stating that I would have to return to direct, star, write, edit, and all of the other shit that I do to create a 15 for 15 film. So that's what you missed. Well, most of it. 15 for 15 Films presents Dissolution.
Yeah, I look pretty good. So if you haven't realized by now, this season's film is going to be a little bit different than what we've done in years past. So the contract that I signed specifically stated that I only had to mention the achievements of the teams mentioned prior by the disembodied voice. So outside of them, I really don't care how you did. The only other thing that I have to... Hold on, I left it over here. I got to mention our sponsor this season is purple. The color purple. We're not pink, but we're still pretty nice. All right, we got that out of the way. But I did just figure, just because, everyone put in so much effort, everyone tried. Obviously, not everyone won. I didn't win. Embarrassing. Figured, let's just let everyone say their piece. But I guess without further ado, how does everyone feel that their seasons went?
Poorly.
Miles, I'm not here to talk about how the Atlanta Droids did last season. I'm here to talk about winning the Miles Dolan Fantasy ESPN March Madness. And I'm still waiting on my prize, by the way.
Yeah, I think my season overall went really well. Finally didn't finish in third. That was great. Made some good progress there. Made it to the finals. Obviously, my team performed great.
So I think the Yankees had a good season this year. It started off really strong. The second half, we ran into some trouble and had a couple of really bad weeks. And that was what caused the problem for us, was the second half of the season. Otherwise, we would have probably slid into the end of the playoffs. But, one of the teams that caused that problem was the fellas over at Camp Yes Sir.
We lost to Miles in the playoffs, I think.
Genius GM next to me. He's really the center of the team. I will say the only reason why we lost to Miles in the first round because Zach Dodd was involved. If his hands weren't in the cookie jar, if it was just my involvement, we would have beat him again because I beat him last year in the playoffs as well. But it didn't go our way. But we got JDART twice in the lowers, get 5th place. Not the worst season, but we'll be back stronger than ever. Can't do worse than Camp Yes Sir.
Hi. I thought that the Meatballs' second season went really well. And I'm pretty sure that the Meatballs finished ahead of Camp Yes Sir.
Poorly.
Absolutely horrendous.
Late summer, I was in 10th or 11th place. The commissioner mocked me mercilessly. That's all I needed to turn the corner and take off. From there on, I climbed all the way up into, 3rd or 4th, something like that. Was a factor in the playoffs, had a couple tough breaks and got knocked out. But just to prove Miles wrong makes it all worthwhile.
Really well.
John and I, the Ass Clowns, as a group, solid team, solid effort, tremendous amount of drinking. My kegerator got a lot of use over a lot of phone calls in regards to who we're going to play each and every day. So, it was a chance for us to, come together again and spend a lot of time together making really unbelievable moves and decisions by the true manager, Mr. Dolan. And I can't thank him enough for letting me be ride his coattails. And we had a plan in the beginning, and the plan almost worked. A lot of people out there, a lot of naysayers thought the Ass Clowns, they don't know what the hell they're doing. I think we proved a lot of people wrong. And for those of you that didn't like the trades we made, sucks to be you.
I think the season went well in the sense that Flem and I had a lot of drinks. As is typical for us, we made the playoffs. We went pitching heavy this year, and I think it worked out well for us, except for the fact we thought we could then take some of that pitching to get us some good hitting, and it just didn't pan out in the end for us. But again, as I said, we were able to make the playoffs again. And we'll just kind of have to keep growing. We're a quality team, and the Ass Clowns will continue to be successful as long as we continue to work together and drink.
As expected.
My season? Well, I was in first place at the end of week 1. I finished a really strong 9th place. 3 of the guys made the All-Star team, and I didn't do a single rage drop. It was a good season.
Wretchedly.
Hi guys, Kirk from Team High Anxiety here. The 2025 fantasy season was super fun, a little disappointing. My team was a lot like the Tigers, some good pitching, but no hitting. So a little disappointing. Didn't make the playoffs, and maybe more disappointing, came in behind Miles and my brother Jeff.
Not well.
Horrendous.
I honestly think we had the greatest season of all time.
And if you couldn't pick up from that, George Rakes did, unfortunately, win it all again. But I don't think that if you threw... I don't even know where I was going with that comparison right there. But there's nobody in the world that cares that he won or really cares about his fantasy baseball prowess at all. So let's just talk about something important. So going into the season, who did you all fear the least?
Camp Yes Sir.
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 Camp, yes, sir.
Camp, yes, sir.
Camp, yes, sir.
Camp, yes, sir.
So, Camp, yes, sir, after coming in last place last year. Obviously, you were the least feared team, and to the surprise of nobody, you did come in last again. So how did it feel to be on the bottom?
Personally, I am a bottom, so I prefer to be at the bottom of the table, and that's where we ended. So I was happy with our season.
If you can't be a top, be a bottom.
You know, we're consistent, and I think that's important. You know, consistency is key, as they say.
Well, as far as the poor performance, that was actually, I think, my bad. See, George told me to pick out guys with nice bottoms, but I mistook that as picking out guys that were on the bottom of scoring points. So yeah, that's the story.
And do you all have any comment on the big announcement coming?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this big announcement. I'm not. I don't know what they're talking about, but I'm excited to learn.
No real comment. The world will just have to wait and see.
No comment.
This announcement is going to blow everyone's minds. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's going to be crazy.
And were there any other teams that you had zero expectations for going into this season?
The Monkey Men.
Obviously, the Monkey Men.
Chris and Tumpy.
The Monkey Men.
Thomas and Chris, what the fuck happened?
Man, the Monkey Men thought we had time this year, but we just had bigger plans. The Monkey Men just had other things to do, but next year we're coming for it.
Chris, if you could describe yourself in 3 words, with 2 of those words being terrible and manager, which 3 words would you use? Do either of you have a comment on the upcoming announcement?
I would like to leave a comment on the big announcement, and that's going to be United States Bingo!
And who were you 2 most excited to see in action this year?
Hot Ballz.
Savannah, you were originally a member of the Bingos for a brief 30 minutes before a surprising flip to co-founding your own team, being the Hot Ballz. What led your squad to choosing this name?
It just felt right.
Henry, how many times did you open the app this season?
0 times.
And do you feel this lack of involvement led to your team's overall lack of quality performing in 19 of the 20 matchups you partook in this year?
Not in the slightest, no.
Katie, do you know what baseball is?
No. Well, kind of.
I'm gonna need you to lock in on a final answer.
No.
And do any of you have any comment on this big announcement that's upcoming?
Not at this time, no.
I'm not actually sure what it even is.
I'm also not familiar with this.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring back the disembodied voice for some monologuing. I'm assuming that you all have nothing left to add, am I right?
Yeah, no. I think we're good.
Okay, great. But even with all the excitement surrounding the Hot Ballz going into 2025, it all sort of fizzled out after week 2 when the team decided they didn't actually like opening the app very much. And after all of the drama, backlash, name-calling, and social media trolling, here we are, looking toward a season in 2026 that will feature possibly the greatest set of baseball minds ever assembled, and the biggest announcement I, as the commissioner of the baseballers, have ever had the honor of saying. In 2026, the Monkey Men, managed by Chris Castillo and Thomas Roberts, Camp Yes Sir, managed by George Nowacek, Ethan Hellefs, Kieran DeWalt, and Ryan Severance, and the Hot Ballz, managed by Savannah Dolan, Katie Donovan, and Henry Thomas, will be joining forces with the Madison Bingos, managed by Miles Dolan, to form the United States Bingos. This acquisition will also see Olivia Hall and Zoe Winter join the newly formed super team. Miles will serve as the GM, while the rest of the members will be included in the group chat.
Sorry you thought that you saw the last of me, but unfortunately I ran out of free credits on my AI text-to-speech generator, so I am back, and I guess that I will take over the narration duties. So with such a huge announcement, I'd love to gauge the league's take and interest on these changes by speaking to our oldest member, JDART.
To be honest with you, I just really don't give a shit. What I'm really wondering is who is going to replace these 3 storied franchises?
Jeff, honestly, I didn't even know that you were capable of coming up with such a wonderful, wonderful question. So, to end off this edition of 15 for 15 Films, I'd like to introduce our new managers. So, standing at 3'4" out of Massachusetts, we have David Brady. Brady, how does it feel to have to step into the shoes of such a storied organization with the likes of Camp Yes Sir?
Hey, what's up, Miles? And the rest of the league? It's your boy Brady here, Massachusetts, coming to take over this franchise, this historic franchise, coming at you with baseball IQ and my knowledge of statistics. I'm going to take this team right to the top.
There are a lot of rumors swirling that you may be too biased towards the Red Sox to be able to field a team that can compete with the rest of the league. How do you plan to quell these suspicions and become a perennial powerhouse of fantasy baseball?
Excuse me. Didn't realize the phone wasn't flipped. So anyways, I am a Red Sox fan. Second of all, the Yankees do suck. Third of all, I might not draft a Red Sox player on my team. But I am going to draft the best players. And I am going to have the best team.
And do you have a name decided yet for your franchise, or will we be learning this closer to the start of the season?
Let me end by saying, this will be glorious.
The second team we have joining in 2026 stands at 2'3" and can't go through a TSA metal detector. Hailing out of North Carolina with roots in the Midwest, Brian Davis. Brian, what expectations do you have for yourself in 2026?
First, let me say what an honor it is to be chosen by Miles Dolan to be part of this fantasy baseball league. This is my first foray into fantasy sports. I spent a lifetime in real sports, so my expectations are this will be much different. I think that I'll learn a lot. I think I'll learn a lot about probability and randomness of the universe.
Brian, are you looking forward to Thanksgiving? And with this in mind, what will you be cooking? I'm looking to plan out my spread early this year so I can focus on my fantasy baseball team in 2026.
Yes, I'm cooking Thanksgiving. I'm cooking all the regular things, and I'll figure out some new culinary delight to add to the mix.
And do you have any names in mind for your franchise yet, or will this be announced closer to the date?
I'll have to give that some thought. I want it to be unique, and I want it to reflect my history in athletics. So we'll see what I can come up with.
And the final team joining the Baseballers in 2026 is the